Good afternoon, group. This is Tiffany McClung again, and this time I'm taking on the cons side of the debate. Although there are a lot of pros of a company launching an initial public offering, there are also some definite drawbacks that the company needs to consider before actually going through the launch. First, research has actually shown that only about 50% of IPOs are effective. Once an IPO is launched and is successful, that company is now a public company, and public companies have more regulations that are placed on them, stricter public reporting, and an increase in governance. There are also a lot of financial obligations that the company needs to take into consideration before launching an IPO. Some of those financial obligations include insurance and risk protections. These fees are often a major expense for the companies. Other fees include the underwriting and commission fees, underwriters' fees and commissions. And these under these fees are legal and accounting fees, the printing cost, stock exchange listing fees, transfer agent fees, and so on. When a company first decides to launch an IPO, they are required to submit a detailed financial records, which may take several man-hours to compile and are also very often expensive. Another thing the company needs to consider when launching an IPO is that when they sell shares of stocks, they're actually giving up a vote or part of a decision in every share of stock that they sell. For example, every one of those, if they sell 100 stocks, that's 100, it's just 100 different people, that's 100 votes or inputs that they have to consider. So they do give up some of that control of the company. Another factor that they need to consider is that when they are selling more shares of stock, their earnings per share will also be diluted, obviously because there's more stocks. Again, if they right now have 10 shares of stock and there's a $100 profit, each one is getting $10. Whereas if all of a sudden you have $100 or 100 shares of stock and there's a $100 profit, then obviously everyone's only getting $1 now. So there is a major, or their profits will be diluted depending on how many shares of stock and how profitable they are. And also based on historical statistics, it indicates that there are, of those 50% of IPOs that are actually successful, only 70% of them are profitable. So meaning of those 50%, only 70% of them actually make money on an IPO. So therefore, there are many factors that a company needs to consider before deciding to launch an IPO or maybe look into other avenues of. So there are definitely quite a bit of pros and cons for an IPO. The company just really needs to evaluate their own particular situation, whether they can afford to take on the added responsibility, if they have enough capable employees to reap the benefits of maybe obtaining a successful initial public offering and becoming a public company. Thank you.